I personally have never let other people's opinion define who I am as a person. I mentioned, this year is more like a learning curve. I need to take in a lot of things. I think I just roll my pants off.
I'm here in Misano for the 24-hour racing series by Creventic to witness a race weekend with Ajith Kumar Racing. Now, this weekend, the race is going to be run over 12 hours from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 3 drivers that have to take the driving stints. There's tire changes, there's fuel stops, so a lot of strategizing. Is going to be an exciting weekend. Before we head into the pit garage, let's take a beat to hear why a mega successful film star takes a pause from his career to go racing. You could have, very easily chosen to just take a seat in another team, come out here, enjoy yourself, drive, enjoy racing, and go back to films. But you chose to start a whole team by yourself, invest in it yourself, which is not easy. Why this decision?
But primarily, I thought I could learn faster because when you buy yourself a seat into a team, pro-am and bronze drivers like gentleman drivers, and each one is there to sort their own careers out. I felt that sometimes, it would be unfair on my part to be asking them to share their data and spend that little extra time with me to improve my skills. So that's probably the reason why I thought if I had a team, if I put a team together, and I was happy I met Fabian and Matthew, very wonderful people, and they did give me an assurance saying that don't worry, we'll make sure that we share all the knowledge and data that we can to get you to pace, get you up. And I think in a way, it worked for all of us. It was a win-win situation for Fabian, Matthew, and me too.
The weekend didn't start too well for them, with Ajith Kumar crashing the car at almost 250 kilometers an hour, just about 45 minutes into the first paid practice day.
And until I had a bad crash at turn 11, it's quite a fast right-hander. It looks like a right-hander. It's pretty much you straight line it, and starting speeds of almost 250 at the end of that straight when you brake for turn 12, 13. I lost the car, hit the barrier. But luckily for us, the damage to the car wasn't as bad as we would have expected. And then I was lucky to have not had any bad injuries. But yeah, okay, my body still feels sore from that shunt. So which meant we lost the whole session.
The sense of failure, the expenses. How hard is it to come back from that and get in the car, and how do you prepare yourself mentally?
Unfortunately for me, most of my crashes have been big ones.
Yeah.
And to get back into the car again needs a lot of commitment. Okay, and I'm not trying to say this, I'm not trying to dramatize the whole thing. Every time I've had a bad shunt, if the car was ready for the next session, I was back. I never tried to postpone, say, no, I'm not up to it today, let me do it tomorrow. I was back in the car. So
Seen you fight injury to get back in the car.
so that's how
Race.
that's how committed I am to motorsports. Just like in films, the amount of injuries I have sustained while filming my stunts, and I mean my film sets on my film sets, it hasn't discouraged me to give the film industry up. Has it? To be honest, even films, I never had anybody in my family who were in the film, so I was a newcomer. I wouldn't use the term outsider because I don't believe in this whole thing of nepotism or being an inside outside. It's just that I was blessed to get the opportunity, and I had a lot of things going against me. Like first of all, I couldn't speak the language. I had an anglicized, and I spoke Tamil with an anglicized accent. They were so, but I worked on my weaknesses, and and the result is for all of you to see. The same with racing. Yes, you will have crashes. You will be a couple of seconds slower. Maybe people will pass their judgments or debate your being there. But I personally have never let other people's opinion define who I am as a person. I want to be an achiever. So at the end of my time, when my time comes, I want to look back and feel happy that I tried. I did something.
It was a determined effort. And try they did. Red Ant worked tirelessly to get the car race ready after the crash, while the team rallied around Ajith, keeping his morale high. They returned to the second day of practice full of hope after a solid stint from Ajith Kumar. When Fabian took over the wheel, things were just beginning to look good, but disaster struck again. The engine failed. True to the never say die spirit, the team sprang into action, managing to replace the engine just in time for Fabian to get a few crucial laps in before the session ended. By Friday's qualifying, the atmosphere in the Red Ant pit was electric. The team was riding high, fueled by grit, determination, and a relentless will to fight on.
We're not sure that it will rain for quali. Apparently tomorrow will be dry, so it's a good thing. But as you say, when you drove in Spa with that much of rain, you're not fear about anything.
In fact, we
Securing a good place?
Yeah, that's the plan. I mean, let's say that in endurance race, even if you qualify P1 or P5, doesn't matter that much because it's 12-hour race. But for the ego, it's good to get like a good position.
but what we're looking for is a good race.
This is a team built on trust and unity, one that thrives by playing to each other's strengths and working through their weaknesses together. The emotional roller coaster of racing never shakes their focus. Just before qualifying, the team huddled for a debrief, analyzing laps, identifying areas for improvement, and finalizing their strategy for both qualifying and race day. The qualifying session was intense, but the drivers delivered under pressure. Strong laps from all three meant that the team secured P3 in the AM class of the 992 Cup cars and a 19th overall on the competitive grid. But what exactly is the Creventic series and what kind of cars compete in it? Well, we caught up with the organizers to learn a little bit more about this unique endurance racing championship.
Well, it started actually 20 years ago in Dubai. We organized our first race in 2005. And we started actually from there. We started in Dubai and we did a second race and a third race. And although that we are based in the Netherlands, in Europe, maybe it sounds a little bit strange that we started in Dubai, but we had the opportunity, so why not? But now the main focus is now in this period on the European season. It's 5 races in Europe. We started in Italy, in Mugello. Then we went to Spa, Belgium. Now for the third race, we are here in Misano, Italy. Then in 2 months, we will go to France, to Paul Ricard. And then in September, the season closer will be in Barcelona. And that's not it. Then we have a kind of a winter series. Then we go to the Middle East, for example, like just mentioned in Dubai, where we have a flagship, 24 Hours of Dubai. That is by far the biggest race we have.
Would you tell us a little bit about the kinds of cars that you have in this racing series and the categories?
It's a big range of cars that we have. We have everything from GT3 cars, so the cars that race in the World Endurance Championship of all places. There is the 992 class for Porsche Cup cars that race all over the world in various Porsche championships. We have a GT4 class. There is a very cool class, a GTX class, where a whole bunch of different kinds of GT cars is accepted and races with us. And there's a class for the, let's say, slower, but definitely not less fun touring cars, everything from smaller Porsches and Audi touring cars races in that class.
Saturday was race day and the atmosphere on the grid was electric. The paddock buzzed with excitement, the sun was shining, and the Red Ant team was in high spirits, smiles, energy, and optimism all around. But endurance racing is exactly that, a true test of stamina, skill, and mechanical reliability. It's as much about lasting the distance as it is about outright speed. The race began on a strong note. Fabian took the first stint and drove brilliantly, pushing the team up to P2 in class. Spirits soared as Ajith prepared to take over for the next leg of the battle. Ajith Kumar Racing go right by behind me. Standing out here on the track, it's race on, almost 3 hours into the race. P2 in class and 14th on the grid. We moved up a couple of places, so that's good, but it's still a long way to go. Ajit delivered an inspired stint behind the wheel. Not only did he improve his qualifying pace by many seconds, he was now clocking consistent 141s around the track, a remarkable effort. His performance was clinical and composed, allowing him to lap back markers while steadily widening the gap to P3. At the same time, he maintained P2 with precision, keeping the leaders within reach without overexerting the car. It was a textbook display of smart, strategic driving in an endurance race.
I don't know. I think I just drove my pants off. That's the right word. It was like I had to do well, and yeah, very happy with this whole afternoon. I mean, today was good. Today was good. So far, so good. I think we are now P2. We have a chance. I hope we can. I know it's still too early to say, but I hope we all have a good race.
Team chief and coach Mark Goosen, an ace driver himself, had only good things to say about Ajith Kumar.
During his stint, his lap times are dropping down constantly. But at the same time, the consistency that he needs to be an endurance driver is also there. So, so far, very pleased to work with him. It's on top of that, a very nice person that understands what we try to do with him. He gets what we try to tell him. He tries to execute it on track. So no complaints from our side so far.
And it was good. After Ajit's stellar stint, Matthew took over and laid down some blisteringly fast laps. His pace was relentless, and soon the team found themselves in P1 building a solid lead. The energy in the pit garage surged with excitement. With 6 hours to go, the dream of standing on the top step of the podium was just within reach. But racing is nothing if not unpredictable. One moment you're flying, and the next moment you're falling. Just as Fabian completed his outlap, disaster struck. The gearbox failed. A code 60 was called and the car had to be towed back to the pits. A hush fell over the garage, and word came through that Porsche had no spare gearboxes available. For most teams, that would have been the end. But not for this one. With their trademark grit, the team members and the Redan crew worked their connections and managed to source a gearbox from another team. Incredibly, their mechanics swapped it out in just 47 minutes. An astonishing feat under pressure. The comeback was on, but the damage was done. The team had dropped to P5 in class and 19th overall again, with a daunting 20-plus lap gap to the podium places. Still, they didn't give up. Inspired night stints from Fabian and then Matthew clawed back positions, eventually bringing the car home in P4 in their class, salvaging valuable championship points. It wasn't the finish they'd hoped for, but it was a race that showed the heart of the team. Everyone gave it their all, and that spirit, more than any other result, defined their weekend.
Yes, we missed the podium. It's very heartbreaking when you think that we could have had our first podium, first place this season. That didn't happen, and the P3 didn't happen either. But that's what racing is all about, right? We win some, you lose some. I would say this was an opportunity that we had to see how well the team could work when things don't go too well for us. See, when everything's going well, fine, there's a lot of camaraderie and love and respect and happy faces. It's at times like this, it really tests your everything, your character, your outlook towards life, towards how you look at
And the team.
and the team. The most beautiful part of this whole weekend was everybody were doing their own job. They knew what they had to do. There was no angst against each other, one another. There's so much of support within the team. Everyone telling each other, saying, hey, it's okay, don't worry. words of encouragement, and we were all boosting each other's morale.
Sprint racing versus endurance racing, because you've chosen something a little bit different. Most people want to go into sprint racing, but you've chosen endurance racing. So why endurance first? And then, how easy or difficult is it?
This whole endurance series is something so new to all of us. It's such an exciting series to be a part of. So for any newcomer who wants to break into or come into the endurance format, I personally would recommend the Creventic Michelin 24-hour series. Because even the circuits that they choose, all F1 circuits like Spa, Misano, Barcelona, Paul Ricard. So not many series in the world offer you that exposure to drive on some of the best circuits in the world. If you were to do a private test or other series, don't give you this kind of seat time or track time.
Let's hear it from the organizers as to what this series is all about.
So we do endurance racing, and we do 12 hours, 24 hours racing, and we do that in a straight session. So there's no pause in between. The teams consist of 3, 4, 5 drivers, and they share a car as a team. The drivers are in the car for up to 2 hours straight, and then they come in. The team changes the tires, the teams refuel, and the team change the drivers, and then they go again. And that means that not only the team is a team effort, but the drivers as well. They have to perform not only on the track, but also in the pit stops.
So how does it feel to have a superstar from India in the racing series? And can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, yeah. To be honest, in the beginning, we didn't know that we had a superstar on our start grid or in our races. And we heard that an actor from India would participate in India. In Dubai. So we thought, okay, maybe he has some fans that will watch and will come. But what we saw in Dubai, that was overwhelming. So many spectators, people over there wanted his autograph.
But also just to speak about him himself, he's a very nice guy. He's welcome here. He's a person like all other persons here at the paddock. He's not special in a kind of way like he might be used to the pack at home. He's just one of the other drivers. We see that he keeps working hard for that, and that's also what we like to see with rides. You don't walk away after you press the car for the first time. No, he keeps coming back and he keeps improving himself, and that's something very special.
3 podiums, consecutive podiums for a brand new team. Did you guys expect that? And what do you think about that?
Yeah, definitely. It was not expected, but it was very impressive.
Things couldn't have worked out better than this for us as a team, for me individually. Like you mentioned earlier, 3 podium finishes, be it Dubai or Mugello and Spa. See, again, these podium finishes or victories or whatever it is, they are not our focal point. Our focal point is to do the best we can.
Even as a mega star, how hard is it to get sponsorships? And I know I've heard you saying that I know I can get the sponsorship as a star, but I want people to give me sponsorship as a racer.
It's a thin line between promoting a brand, being an ambassador, being an actor, and being a race car driver, where you try to tell the copies, look, it's pretty much the same thing. It's just that instead of you having Ajith Kumar, the actor, endorsing your products, you're going to be having your brands on the car, on the livery of the drivers, and the content that we give you, be it the images or the video, and you can use those images and clips to promote your products. It amounts to the same thing, but then it's more about racing. It's promoting. Everybody knows, okay, it's Ajith Kumar that you're a part of, or Team Ajith Kumar Racing that you're part of. So it's like finding it difficult to convince them, because they're so used to a particular format. So like I told you, since my time time is running out. I'm 54. I would like to race for as long as I can. So if God willing, all my faculties are intact, my health is fine, no injuries, and I don't see why I should not be racing till I'm 65, because I did see a few drivers yesterday on the grid who were like 60 plus. And
very quick.
And very quick, exactly. So that's the reason I gave my entry for 3 championships this year. There's a lot of driving that I have been doing this year. I'm like really, I have exposed myself to a lot of track time, primarily to increase my pace, so that next year, like I mentioned, this year is more like a learning
Cool.
curve. I need to take in a lot of things, both as a driver, as a team owner.
You have achieved success, right? You've achieved it in the film industry. Most people strive for success. You achieve it in some place. You've chosen to start afresh again and achieve it in another place with racing. Why at this stage of your career?
There are two reasons. One is I have always wanted to be a racing, driver or a rider, because I love this sport. I love sports. I personally feel sports plays a very, very important role in one's life, more than academics. Academics, yes, but you learn a lot. You learn how to be how to accept failure, or to handle success. It makes you a better person. Sports has to be a part of your curriculum. Now, since I have achieved uh, a decent level of success and fame in the profession I chose to pursue, which is acting, I thought, okay, now at least the last 10 years of my life, let me do what I have always wanted to do, be a racing driver and try to be a good one at that.
What's next? This year is you've done GT4, you've done endurance racing. What are you looking forward to next year?
See, the ultimate goal for us, for Fabian, me, and Matthew, is to be to drive at the Le Mans. So I'm told in these endurance series, especially even the Porsche Cup, every championship winner are given a wildcard entry for the Le Mans. Our dream is to get to the Le Mans. Yes, Creventic series, the endurance series, the Michelin Creventic series, is a wonderful series to be a part of. This year we're doing the Porsche Cup cars. So we're trying to see if we want to do the GT3. So we're testing this coming weekend. We're testing a Porsche GT3 R car, and then the following week we would be testing a Mercedes AMG GT3 car to see which car suits us. I mean, in terms of driving budgets, and it depends. It depends on a lot of other factors as well. But yes, we want to get to the highest level in endurance racing.
We wish you all the best and we hope to see you in GT3 soon.
Thank you, Renuka. Thank you so much.